Yeah, ask me. Any doubts in this? You have any doubts, you can ask.
Once again, can you explain the analog graph,
Analog
sir?
part. Okay, okay.
Yeah.
In this analog part, see in the first part, I have drawn a sinusoidal signal. Can you make out this? I'll just highlight it. I changed the color of pen. Is it visible? This part?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Here, the signal is defined as 2 sine t because the variation is sinusoidal. Are you getting it? Any doubts in this?
No, sir. Getting it.
Okay. Now, why I call it analog? Because you take any instant of time, t value. Is the voltage defined? Yes, it is defined. It is 2 sine something. Means you find you have a particular value at any instant of time. Am I correct?
Yes, sir.
Yes. Now, when I take practical case, this is theoretical. Sinusoidal, you draw easily, you define a signal. But when it comes to practical case, suppose I speak on a microphone, right? I'm speaking on a, I'm using a microphone. I'm trying to convey something. What will microphone do? Will it pick up my signal, voice signal?
Yes,
Yes.
sir.
Yes. Then
Yes.
there is a transducer that will convert my voice to electrical signal. Yes or no?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. Now, will that variation, whatever I'm speaking, will that variation, will it be sinusoidal or will it be random?
Random.
Random. Because my pitch varies, no? As my pitch varies, randomly the signal is going to vary. But here also you find for any instant of time, the signal is defined. Yes or no? As my pitch varies, the
Yes.
signal varies. Yes.
Yes.
So can you just explain the what you just said now again?
See, when I'm speaking on microphone, no, what will microphone do? There is a transducer inside. There is a sensor which is going to pick up my voice signal and convert it into electrical signal. Electrical signal, when it gets converted, it is going to look something like it will look something like this, the variation, what I have drawn. Now, why I have not drawn a sinusoidal? Because as my pitch varies, the electrical signal variation will also be, it will be random. It won't be perfect sinusoidal. Some random
Yes, sir.
variation. Yeah. So this signal is still I call it analog because any instant of time the signal is defined. When I speak on microphone, you are going to get signal. So this is also
But,
continuous. Yeah, tell me.
but the dispersion of the waves that the mic converts into electrical signals, that would be proportional according to the sound and the pitch that you
Exactly.
put in, right?
Exactly. Exactly. That's why I've drawn a random signal. I'm not drawing a perfect sinusoidal like this.
Sir, is it random because your voice pitch is also random? Like you
Yes.
can't
Yes.
okay, sir.
Exactly. Exactly. So, so but still I call this an analog signal because any instant of time the signal is defined. Now let me draw something else. So below I have drawn another signal. Okay. Is
So
this is this a continuous variation? Is it defined for each and every instant of time?
No,
No,
sir.
sir.
No. For
Sir, but
particular.
how would it be defined if you like take a pause for a moment? At that time, there is no
No,
signal.
no, no,
So
no. I'm what I'm trying to tell here is explain here is when I speak, it will be continuous. If
yes,
I
sir.
pause, then it will complete. No, when I pause, it is like off.
Yes,
Microphone is
yes.
off. So when I'm speaking, you're going to get signal something like this, what I have drawn. That's it. Okay. So in the presence of my voice signal, I'm telling. Is it fine?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Yes,
Okay.
sir.
Now the signal what I drawn below, is it defined for each and every instant of time?
No, sir.
No. So it is defined only at some particular instant of time. Say if at this instant of time, T1, the signal is defined. T1 or T2 or T3, at this instant of times, the signal is defined, not each and every instant. So this we call it your digital part. This we
so
call it a digital signal. Now, what is difference between a digital discrete signal and actually the name given to this, the second part is discrete signal. It is not analog. We call it a discrete, not still the digital. Digital, I will explain. Okay. Now,
So-
what yeah, tell me.
So even though we can plot the analog, like the uneven graph which you made at the top, so even though we can plot it in, so still we cannot get a proper equation, right?
Not possible. That's what I'm trying to say here. No, my pitch varies randomly. I can't say this is 2 sine t. I can't have a mathematical equation for this.
Got it, sir.
That's why it's a very good question. That's why the reason behind taking 2 sine t or some sign variation when we derive is because random signals we don't have mathematical equations.
Okay,
If I have a defined signal sinusoidal, right, we can derive some equations and say this type of variation we are going to get. How can I prove? How can we prove that if I give some signal to a circuit, how the circuit is going to behave? How to prove it theoretically? So there we require a signal which is defined, like sinusoidal. Sinusoidal is a clear definition is 2 sine some Vm sine omega t. I can easily define the signal. Then I apply that signal to a circuit and I will check the behavior of the circuit. If the behavior of the circuit is satisfactory to me, if I'm happy with the behavior, then I will apply my voice signal through a microphone to the circuit. Are you getting it?
got it, sir. Thank you.
Yes. So, so to teach, we use a defined signal. To teach, we use always a defined signal. That's why in engineering, mathematics is very important. Without mathematics background, you may not understand anything. So initial some mathematics background is required, prerequisite is required. And once we understand, say this is the equation, this is how we can derive it and all, then we can develop circuits. As it is not possible to develop circuits. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Now, the second part, discrete part, is the signal defined? It is not defined. But if I join this, does this look like a sinusoidal signal?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Yes.
It join
Yes.
what?
If I join these points, if I
Yes,
join
sir.
this, yeah, it looks like a sinusoidal.
Yeah.
Then what is this discrete signal? What is this discrete signal?
Sir,
How practically we get this?
Is
Yes.
it the amplitude plotted?
So the voltage is continuously described in analog, whereas in
Yes.
discrete we get distinct intervals of time, distinct
Yes.
instants of time where it is defined.
Yes, in the discrete part. Then
Sir,
Yes.
what is
Would we
yeah,
be joining the separate parts?
yeah, no. My question is, what difference between this and this? How we derive the discrete signal? When I speak on a microphone, it is always analog. How we get a discrete signal? The way to get it is, say, just imagine. Practically, I'm going to explain now. You must let me know. I'll take a sinusoidal signal. I will connect it to a switch. And this switch, I will turn it on and off at a particular frequency. Means for 1 second, I will turn it on. 1 second, it is off. Again, after 1 second, I will turn it on. Again, it is off. Means, am I turning on and off at a frequency of 1 hertz?
Yes, sir.
Are you getting it? So every second it is turned on and then it is turned off. What to get at the output of the switch? This signal I'm going to feed it to this. What to get at the output of a switch? What you're going to get? When the switch is on, will I get the signal as it is?
Yes, sir. So it gets separate points of signals
Continuity
due to
breaks.
the breaking of frequency.
Yes. So will I get something like this now?
Yes.
Yes, sir. Sir, why would
Something
it keep going up? Because you are switching on and off regularly.
As I move up, say sinusoidal signal, as I'm moving with respect to time on x-axis,
Yes,
am I
sir.
not moving up?
Yes, sir.
So as we move, we get this one, this type of signal, discrete signal. Every second you turn it on, off. I can increase the frequency. Then what happens? These points will be very close to each other. Are you getting it?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
So this is how we convert an analog signal available at the output of a transducer. I use a transducer, a sensor, to convert my voice signal to some electrical signal. And that signal, if I want to convert it into discrete signal, this is how we convert. So we use a switch and convert it.
Sir, so
Are you
when
getting
the time means the time period or frequency of that becomes dt like very minimal, it then becomes almost continuous, right?
That is your differential, this thing. That's what you do, no? If dt tends to 0, what happens? If your time dt tends to 0, then you're not, see, you can't say the signal is getting differentiated or sampled. This is basically, we call it sampling. We
Yes,
break
sir.
the signal and it is available at different instant of time. Correct?
Sir.
So this what I have done, this we call it actually sampling. Technical name given to this is sampling. So we take analog signal and we sample it. We sample it. So this is not the end. Now we have to convert this to digital. How we convert this to digital? How we convert this to digital? Say for example, this amplitude. So you find different amplitudes, right? So say this amplitude, when I break the signal at this point, let me change the color of pen and highlight it. This one at T1, say the amplitude is 0.9 volts, example, 0.9 volts. And say at T2, the amplitude is say 2.1 volt, example, here it is 2.1 volt. I'm sorry, this should be time T, T2. So at T2, say the voltage is 2.1 volt. Okay. So what we do is this 0.9 volt, I will approximately take it as 1. Approximately, I will take it as 1. Can we represent decimal 1? Decimal number 1. So this is decimal number. I hope you know what is decimal number, right? How many numbers are there in decimal? How many digits? Is
9.
it not 10? 10. Deci means 10, no?
0.0 is same, sir.
No,
Point-
don't take 0.0. My question is, what is a decimal number? Decimal number is defined 0 to
0 to
9.
9.
Yeah. How many digits are there? Is it not 10 digits? 0,
Yes.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 8, 9, up to 9. 0 to 9. 10 digits. Correct? So this one is a decimal number. Can you convert this to binary? Binary means how much? See, deci means 10. Anybody can understand. Binary means how many? How many numbers?
2, 0 and 1.
0 and
0 and 1. Only two
One.
digits. Only 2 digits you find in binary. Can I convert this to binary? 1 possible. I hope you know how you can convert decimal to binary. Conversion you know.
Yes.
Yes. So what is 1? 1 I can represent it as 0, 1. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
In binary we can represent it as 0, 1.
Sir, I had a doubt. Hello.
Here you tell me.
Sir, if the signals are so random, then how do noise cancellation microphones work?
See, you have jumped straight away to PG level now. You are gone to noise level now, noise cancellation and all. I'm still teaching the basic part. What is analog signal? What is digital signal?
Sir, apart from
Getting it?
this, could you please explain in brief that conversion from decimal to binary?
Yeah, that in digital electronics you are going to learn. So here I'm in detail you are going to learn how you convert a given number system to some other number system. Okay. So
Sir, the definitions.
definition. So that's why I told decimal means 10, binary means 2. So 0 to 9 we call it decimal number. 0, 1 only 2 digits are there, that we call it binary. Bi means 2, right? So if I want to convert, say for example, since you are asking, I'll just show the conversion. For example, if I want to convert decimal number 5 to binary, what we do? We keep dividing it by 2. So 5 by 2, 2 2s are 4, remainder is 1. Am I correct? Then again, can we divide this by 2? Yes, we can divide 2 by 2. 2 1s are 2, remainder is 0. Can we further divide this 1 by 2? Not possible. 1 is less than 2. Yes or no? So what is your binary equivalent of 5?
So 101.
101.
Sir, can't we use the 8421 method?
8421 also we can use. That is a code actually. That also you're going to learn. Code and conversions are completely different. Okay.
Sir,
It's
I
a
have
code.
a doubt.
Okay, sir.
Yeah. So this is how you can convert a given decimal number to binary. So binary number is 101. So in my case at T1 amplitude is 0.9. We have taken it as 1. So when I convert this to binary, 1, if I ask you what is binary, can I divide it by 2? Is it possible? Is it possible to
No,
divide?
sir.
No, not possible. So the answer is 0, 1. Because I can't divide. You are getting remainder as 0 and this 1. So 0, 1 is equivalent of 1. My next point, my next time duration, not time duration, my next instant of time is T2. At T2, the amplitude is 2.1. If I approximately take it as 2, can somebody tell me what is equivalent of this in binary?
10.
1 0.
1
0.
0.
1 0.
1 0. Are you getting it?
Yes, sir.
So can you repeat this part? How you're getting the 101 and 01?
To say I want equivalent of binary for decimal number 2. So what I will do? I will divide 2 by 2.
Okay.
Correct? So 2 1s are 2. What is the remainder?
0.
0. Can I further divide this 1 by 2? Not possible. You stop.
No.
So
Yes,
what
sir.
is the answer? Can you read it? 1 0.
1
1 0.
Yeah.
So we get 1 0. And say at T3, instant of time, amplitude is say, let me take it as 6 volts. Can somebody tell me what is binary equivalent of 6?
1
1 1
So
0.
it's 110.
110. 110. Right?
Yeah.
So when it comes to the peak value 6, I'm getting 110. But before that, I'm getting 1001. But you find a difference here. What is that? To represent 6, we require 3 binary numbers. 110. How many binary numbers you find in this? 3. To represent 2, we are using only 2 binary numbers. Am I correct?
But
Yes.
sir,
Yes.
won't it be 110
Wait,
technically?
please wait. So we are representing using 2 numbers, 1 0. Instead of that, if I represent it by 0 1 0, will it make any difference? 2?
No, sir.
No, because I have added 0 to the left. I've added 0 to the left. You can add any number of zeros to the left. The number will be 2 only because my answer is 1 0, no? To the right.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
If it is 1, can I take it as 0 0 1? Will it make any difference?
No, sir.
No. So to represent 6, I require 3 binary numbers. For that reason, 2 also I will represent using 3 binary numbers. 1 also I will represent using 3 binary numbers. The reason behind this is when it comes to 1 volt, I will take 0, 0 and 1. This is the signal. It is 0 at instant at, if I take my x-axis as time t, then it is 0 volts for a particular instant of time. Next instant of time also it is 0, and then it jumps to 1. 1 is say some voltage, some x voltage, say we represent using 5 volts. So this entire time duration 0 to t1, approximately I take it as 0, 0, 1. Next, from t1 to t2, from t1 to t2, I'm jumping from 1 to 2. So the next time duration from t1 to t2, I'll represent using 0, 1, and then 0. So this is my next duration. Is this fine?
Sir, in exam, how they will ask the question?
Huh? Just a minute.
In
Just a
exam,
minute. Wait. Please wait. Yeah. So my next time duration, it is 0, 1, 0. And when I jump to 6,
sir.
It is 1,
Hello, sir.
1. Yeah. Please wait.
Yes, sir.
Please wait. You have any doubts? I'm going to clear it. Please wait. So next is 1, again 1, and then it jumps to 0. So my first part is 0, 0, 1. Second part is 0, 1, 0. And my third this thing is 1, 1, 0. Does this look like a digital signal where you find only two possibilities, either 0 or 1?
Yes, sir.
Yes. So this we call it actually the digital signal. This is what is digital signal. Analog signal is defined for each and every instant of time. Digital signal, what you find? For any instant of time, if you take, either it will be 0 or 1. Only two possibility, either 0 or 1. But straight away we can't convert analog to digital. First we have to sample it. Sample in the sense using a switch we sample it, and then we convert that to digital depending on the number of digits what we are going to use. Okay. Now say suppose if this is 12 volts instead of at T3 instead of 6 volts, if the amplitude is 12 volts, then what is binary equivalent of this 12? Anybody?
1100.
1100. Then now how many digits we require to represent a number?
4.
4. That means automatically 1 becomes what now instead of 001?
0001.
Exactly. I hope you're getting it. So now it becomes 0001. 2 will become, what will be 2?
0010.
0010.
It becomes 0010. What about 6?
0110.
0110. You can keep adding zeros to the left. That's not going to change. That's not going to modify the number. It will be as it is. 6. It will be 6.
Sir, but it should always be a 4-digit thing.
No. It all depends on the peak amplitude. If my peak amplitude is 6 volts, then 3 binary numbers are enough. No. Maximum is 6.
Yes.
How many digits you require to represent 6? Maximum 3 only.
Yes, sir.
If my amplitude is say 32, now you may require 5.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Are you getting it? So it all depends on the peak value of the analog signal. What is the maximum value of the analog signal? That we are going to check. Accordingly, we will decide the number of digits. Is this clear?
Yes, sir.
So
Sir?
this is, yeah, tell me.
So how can we conversely find the peak voltage in analog from digital?
In the sense?
So like in analog, we are taking like 12 volt and converting it into binary. From binary to, or again to voltage, and then converting
Yes.
it.
Yes. Now, if you once you convert it to digital part, and if I ask you what is 0, 1, 0, again come back to analog, what you're going to get? Reverse process 2, 0, 0, 1. How much it is? 1. Means I understand from 0 to T1, the amplitude I have approximately taken it as 1. So when I convert it back to analog, I may get signal like this. From 0 to T1, it goes to 1 volt. From T1 to T2, it goes to 2 volts. And next it may go to 6. So when I again do the reverse process, I may not get exactly 0.9. I may get it as 1. I may not get exactly equal to, how much was that? 2.1. I may get it as 2 volts when I do the reverse process. That's why digital is basically approximation. It is not exactly analog signal. When I again do the reverse process, I may not get exact analog signal, but very close to that I'm going to get. So since it is very close to that, effect is negligible. Are you getting it? The effect of that is negligible.
Yes, sir.
That's why, yeah, tell me.
Sir, in exams, how they will ask the question?
Huh?
In exams, how they will ask the question?
So this is just introduction, man. This is nothing to do with your syllabus. I'm just giving a small introduction, a very short this thing, introduction to analog electronics. If somebody asks you what is analog electronics, are you in a position to answer what it is?
Yes, sir.
That is what I am trying to convey here. This is nothing to do with your syllabus nor with the exam. Is this clear? So if
Yes.
somebody asks you what is analog electronic circuits, you must tell analog is the signal part. We are applying a continuous signal to a device, semiconductor, maybe in this case, semiconductor device circuitry. Why semiconductor device circuitry? The electronic part is the semiconductor device where we control the flow of current through the device. And then we build some based on the requirement, we build some circuits. That is the circuit part. So what is analog electronic circuit part? In short, we take analog signal, and we apply it to a circuit that contains, in our case, semiconductor devices and other components. And we try to see what is the output of this circuit. Right? So we are applying it to a semiconductor device circuit. In other words, are we doing analog signal processing? Are we processing the signal, analog signal, by passing it through some circuitry?
Yes.
Yes. So that is analog electronic circuit. So basically, in short, I can say processing of analog signal is nothing but your analog electronic circuit. Now, what is inside the circuit? If somebody asks, then you must say semiconductor devices and other components. So based on some requirement, we are going to design this and we are going to apply some signal. Maybe say biomedical. If some biomedical student, if he asks me, what is this analog signal part? Maybe ECG signal, heartbeat variation. Can I take it as analog signal? Yes or no?
Yes,
sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. And say the doctor, maybe a cardiac specialist, he actually some echo signal he want to analyze. Then what he can do? This variation ECG signal, this will be of very low voltage, maybe nanovolts or microvolts. Amplitude is very less, 10 raised to power minus 6 volts and all. So if a cardiac specialist, if he wants to analyze the signal on a scope, oscilloscope, if he wants to analyze a signal, it is impossible. How will a doctor or how will a person come to know microvolt variation? Possible? Is it possible?
No,
Not
sir.
possible. So what will he do? He will approach an engineer, electronic engineer. And what will electronic engineer do? Can he amplify the signal? Can we boost the signal?
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Yeah,
sir.
he will amplify the signal and he will make the signal available in volts. So he's converting microvolts to volts or maybe millivolts to volts. Right? Now this signal, can a cardiac specialist, can he analyze? Definitely yes. He can clearly observe the variation. Yes or no? Hello?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
So if
Yes, sir.
if I ask you what is the processing you have done, what processing you have done?
Amplification.
Amplitude magnification.
Amplification. So one of the analog signal processings you have done, amplification. Right? Or maybe a fellow comes to me, he's listening to music and he's going to connect it to a speaker. Right? But the signal available, if he's listening to some music, it's not very clear. He'll come to me, an electronic engineer. What the person is going to do, electronic engineer? He will take the signal. He will take the signal, right? Maybe available from a transducer. If I'm singing a song on a microphone, he will take that signal. Again, he will do amplification and then apply it to a speaker. Again, what type of processing we are doing? Amplification. This is not biomedical. This is not a biomedical application. Are you getting it?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
So this I am going to teach. How to build an amplifier circuit. How to build some other circuit like rectifier. This is also analog signal processing. I'll prove this that it is analog signal processing later. But to build an amplifier, to build a rectifier, I must know semiconductor device physics part. Without knowing the physics part, you will realize it later why this is required. Without knowing the device physics, it is impossible to design a circuit. Once you understand this, then we can come up with a circuit. Okay. Okay. This is a very short introduction I have given. The latest technology I'm going to let you know now. Right? The latest technology is something like this. We have built circuit, we understand device physics, we have done analog signal processing, we have a circuit, everything is fine. Next, the latest development what has happened in last 10-15 years is this circuit is available in a form of a chip. We call it IC chip, integrated circuit chip. Right? Now, what is this integrated circuit chip? It is a pinhead size chip, very small chip. Right? If you break open your mobile phone at the back, you can find so many IC chips. Yes or no? Black color chips. Have you seen?
Yes, sir.
Available in this chip, in this small chip. Right? In a small chip, you will be surprised. We can implement crores of transistor circuits. Crores of transistor circuits we can implement on a simple analog IC chip. We can have crores of transistor, crores of diodes on a chip. So what has happened? The space which a circuit occupies, that has been reduced now, drastically reduced. So we have a small IC chip. The beauty of this chip is the engineer, what he is going to do, this chip is available, no? He has designed the chip. He will give some input pin and he will say, apply a signal to this. And he will say at the output, the signal is available. That's it. You need not do anything. Apply a signal to the chip and at the output of the chip, the signal is available. You need not worry about what is happening in the chip. Are you getting it?
Yes, sir.
Yes. So this chip, an engineer is going to design. So what he is going to do, once he comes up with a circuit, he is going to simulate it And then practically, there are some simulation tools where you can fabricate this circuit on a semiconductor. What we do is we use silicon semiconductor. Basically, we use silicon semiconductor, and these circuits gets fabricated on this silicon semiconductor. And that is available in a form of chip. So this silicon raw material is required. Unless you have this, we can't come up with a IC chip. It is not possible. Right? Now, in a very small area, if I take a small area, within this area, I want so many circuits possible. Yes, it is possible. We use something called VLSI design, very large scale integrated circuit design. So there is a way to design. There is a way to come out with a layout to place all these components in a very small area. So that is a completely different area in electronics and communication. VLSI design technology. Fine. So once you join our branch, these things we are going to teach. Is it okay?
Doing all these interesting things?
Yes. Everything you're going to learn if you join our branch, electronics and communication. Okay. Now this silicon chip, this is required for IC. I think nowadays you might have heard in this thing news and all that auto industries are facing shortage of semiconductor chip.
Yes, sir.
This without this it is not possible. Now the raw material available for silicon, this if I want to build a chip, silicon is required, and that is not a shortage is there. For that reason, they are finding it difficult now, auto industry. Because if you take a car nowadays, the entire gadgets inside the car, you can find hundreds, so many thousands of chips. Microcontrollers you can find. All these things are built on a chip. And if the material is not available, how can we come out with a chip? So auto industry, they are facing shortage now, semiconductor chips. That's why this is very important. Nowadays, it is not like earlier where we take a resistor, we take a capacitor, we solder it, and then we give some input and analyze. All these components are available inside a chip, IC chip, right? And this fabrication hardly it happens in 2 places in the entire world. In India, this is not available. It's a very expensive process. If you want to get a chip fabricated, it's not that easy. It's very expensive. I think one of the processing units, the fabrication unit, it is in Taiwan. And one more is somewhere in US, I think. So only 2 places you can find in the entire world nowadays where this chip gets fabricated. So it's not that easy. What we in India do, we simulate it. We come out with a layout, a design, once we design a circuit, and that gets into the fabrication unit. We send it to Taiwan and get the chips, IC chips. Is it fine?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
That is what is happening nowadays in the outside world. You must be aware of this. Don't blindly follow some syllabus and keep reading. Right? Keep yourself updated. The reason is what is happening in the outside world, you are supposed to know. My own students who are your seniors, they keep sharing their experiences in industries. So they usually let me know what is happening in for example, one of my students is working in Qualcomm company, right? So what development is happening right now, he informed me at least 12 months back, 1 year back. Slowly, you'll be finding your Jio or some Airtel, they are going to introduce 5G. Yes or no? Still we are in 4G, right?
Yes.
So this 5G technology circuitry, all this circuit design and all, he was doing in Qualcomm. Many circuits he has designed. So this information he keeps sharing. Now, if I ask you what is difference between 4G and 5G, the frequency at which the signal is getting transmitted, no, that has changed. Earlier it was 5 gigahertz, 4 to 5 gigahertz. So what happens? Frequency, at this frequency, internet speed, we are not getting that much because number of users have gone up a lot. So now they have changed to 5th gen 5G technology, where the frequency, signal transmitted frequency is 25 gigahertz, 5 times more. So your speed will drastically increase. Of course, in US and all this they have implemented long back. Now they are in Australia and all, they have moved to 6G, where the frequency goes to 80 gigahertz, up to 80 gigahertz. Whether it is advisable or not, I don't know, because it's not good. As the frequency keeps increasing, if the power increases, no, then definitely it is going to spoil our health.
So
Yeah, so this, please wait. So this 4G and 5G and all, no, the circuit what is inside your mobile phone, that an engineer has to develop. It's not that easy. Earlier in your mobile phone, it was 4G circuitry. So that circuit used to work at 5 gigahertz. Now, if somebody comes and say amplifier, your amplifier has to work at 25 gigahertz, it is not that easy. Please understand. When I teach amplifier, you will understand. So you at 5 gigahertz, if your circuit works, if it amplifies a 5 gigahertz signal, it need not amplify 25 gigahertz signal because frequency has gone up. Amplifier may or may not work. So again, we have to redesign the circuitry, make some modification, make some changes, and make it to work. And that's not easy. Okay. So these are the challenges faced by electronic engineers in the outside world nowadays. Basically, it is your chip design, or maybe when it comes to microcontroller and all. Yeah, you have any distinct queries, you can ask.
Sir, I just have a single doubt, sir. We know that sand has silicon in it, so why don't we go for extraction of silicon from it?
Maybe they are extracting. I don't know what issues they are facing, but I understand in auto industry they are facing shortage with the silicon chip. Shortage of silicon chip is right now. It is there. Maybe within few months it will be solved. How they are planning to solve all those things we don't. Yeah.
The sand which the source is of a special type, which is quite rare on Earth. So you can't just take any sand and extract silica from it.
Yeah. No, those things I have no idea. What I am trying to say here is, as an electronic engineer, I am interested in a silicon material. Once I get the material, then my job starts. I have to design a circuitry. I have to implement, fabricate it on a chip. So all those things are my headache. My headache is not to get a silicon material from a sand or and all. Those things I'm not into. Somebody else have to get it. My job is to get that circuit fabricated on that chip, and that's not easy. My job is like in Qualcomm, sudden change from 4G to 5G. How to make my circuit work at 25 gigahertz. This is my headache. Okay. But for that, this chip is required. This chip is required. Silicon material is required. That somebody else is going to get it for me. How they are going to get, I don't know. But without this chip, it is not possible for me to fabricate any circuit. It's simply a waste. Yes. Yeah. Anything else? Anything else you want to ask?
Sir, India tying up with Taiwan to reach global demands.
Maybe. I have no idea. Okay. So we'll not jump into those things.
Sir.
We'll concentrate on the circuit part. I am going to
Sir.
teach you how you can design a circuit. Okay, how we can design a circuit to meet some requirement. To meet some requirement, how we can design a circuit. Okay, yeah. Though those things we are not going to discuss here. Who is
Sir, I
going
have
to
a
get?
doubt, sir.
Yeah.
While converting from discrete to digital, you approximated 0.9 to 1.
Yes.
So if it was 0.6, we could still approximate to 1, or we can't do that?
Maybe. It all depends. It all depends because the number of samples we have taken, if it is less, then we may have to 0.6, we may have to approximate it to 1. If the number of samples are more, then I can approximately take it as 0.5 also, close to 0.6.
Okay, sir.
Okay, it all depends. This you are going to learn in communication, how we are going to sample a signal. Sampling part will be done in communication. Okay, I just given a very small very short introduction. In detail, when you learn all these things, no, there it will be much more what I can say clear. Right now you may not understand. Okay, I just given a very short introduction how we can convert analog to digital. In detail, when you study, this will be clear. Okay.
Yes.
You need not worry right now. Yes. Okay, then shall we wind up? So my next session, I'm going to teach. First, I'm going to teach the physics part of the diode. First chapter, device physics. We'll try to understand the VI. Wait. First, we'll try to understand the VI characteristics of the device. And then we will try to design a circuit based on this VI characteristics. So using this knowledge, VI characteristics knowledge, we'll try to design some circuit, maybe for some application like rectifiers or maybe a regulator. So these things I will teach. Okay. So my next session will be on diode VI characteristics, device physics. Okay.
No doubt.
Yes. Is it fine? Others?
No doubt.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Okay.
Yes.
Okay. So with this, I will stop. Today's session will close.
No doubt.
If you have, wait, man. If you have any doubts, you can ask. Rest can leave. Others need not wait. You can leave.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah.
Thank
Thank
you,
you.
sir.
Thank you,
Thank
sir.
you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Sir, for us, direct final exam or before that any exams are there?
No, see, initially I told your assessment plan, I'm not going to share right now. I don't have any details. Once I get it from the academic section, then only I can let you know. This I told you, no? Yes or no? Initially,
Yes,
I
sir.
mentioned it. Assessment plan, later I'm going to share. We don't have the details, whether your offline exam will be there, online exam will be there, how they are going to plan your assessment, internal and external assessments, all those things, I don't have any details. I don't want to give any wrong information. Tomorrow you must not say, Gopal Krishna Pai sir told that your assessment will be done like this. That I don't want. I want a clear cut this thing, notice from the academic section. Only those things I'm going to share. Okay?
Excuse me, sir.
Yes.
So
Yeah.
you'll be sharing the notes PDF on the team, right?
I am going to share the notes, the PDF format of the notes in the Teams file section of the Teams.
Sure.
Okay?
Thank you.
So today's class I may not share, maybe in future from next class onwards, because this is not your syllabus. This is just a brief introduction I have given. Okay?
Sir,
All right. Thank you, sir.
Yeah.
so how
Anything else?
attendance system work?
Attendance automatically. We have we automate. We have a tool which is going to download your attendance automatically.
Okay.
So I understand. I will come to know the time duration you have attended the class, each and every fellow. I have the details of that. Automated tool we have. Yeah.
So I have a doubt. Actually, they have been told about the handbook, no, sir?
during the exams. Do
Hmm.
we also have electronics formulas in
Yes,
that, sir?
yes.
Okay,
It's
sir.
like you get a formula book, you have a ready-made formula. How you are going to use the formula to design a circuit or how you are going to use it to solve some problems, numericals.
Okay.
It's up to you how you are going to use it. It's like an
Okay.
open book exam. You
Okay,
need
sir.
not by heart the formula, you need not remember the formula. You're going to provide it, and you have to use that formula somewhere in some
Okay.
numerical or some design and solve this thing problem. Okay.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Yeah. Anything else?
Thank you.
Yeah. Then we'll wind up.
So,
Thank you,
Yeah.
sir.
Yeah. Thank you.
hello.
Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah. Tell me.
so I've been having net issues the entire day, the
Okay.
entire period of time. So I kept on get disconnecting even from the previous classes.
Okay.
So will that count as my credits being decreased or?
No, I have no idea. That will be decided by academic associate director. Okay. So as a faculty, let me clear this to all. As a faculty, I'm going to share whatever the tool has downloaded, nothing else. Right? I'm not going to assess you based on your attendance, all those things I'm not going to do. It is decided by academic section and they are going to plan it out. I'm just going to follow their instructions, nothing else. Okay. So I'm not going to check your attendance and give some marks. Those things I'm not going to do. I'm going to assess you purely based on your performance. Technically, how you have performed in the test or in the exam. I'm not going to check your attendance and all. Okay. That is not my job. My job is to teach. My job is to technically assess you. Now, whether you are there for 1.5 hours, 50 minutes, 15 minutes, that is not my job to check. Okay. Is it clear? See, take it as a professional course. Okay. Those school days are over now. Now you have to see how you can perform better. That's it. Nothing else. Is it okay? Hello?
All right. Thank you, sir.
Yeah. Okay then. Thank you. Then we'll wind up the session. You can go through this thing. I have recorded this. You can go through the video. And from next session onwards, we'll start with your actual syllabus. Okay?
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Thanks a lot. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.